Oh, What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined today by my co-hosts, Kelsey, JoJo, and James. We got a fucking full house tonight. Whoop, whoop. Super excited.
Hello.
Chris,
Okay.
Have you seen WandaVision?
No, the trailers were enough for me to know that that's going to be a terrible fucking show. So, I'm not going to watch it.
I watched it, Kelsey.
What did you think? I need to know your thoughts before I say anything.
I love it.
There are only 2 episodes out.
I love it, yeah.
And they are, like, Scott and I started watching it, and we had no idea what to expect. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but the vibe of the first episode is just like it's an absolute regular 50s, like, sitcom, right? And then
it is a I Love Lucy sort of parody, or not parody, homage, something.
Yeah, and it's got those
And
kind of
then
scripted jokes and everything, and you're just like, oh, this physically hurts. Like like as we were watching, I kept looking over at my husband, and he's like physically cringing, and he's like, this has to get better. This has to get better. And then only 2 episodes are out at this particular point, and definitely by the end of the first episode, something weird as hell is going on, and it is simultaneously incredibly inane and fascinating because I know there's stuff hidden in it, and I just don't know what I don't know, right?
Sure, yeah. It's very much what it's going for, yeah. But then at the same time, that second episode is pretty much just a real-ass episode of Bewitched. Like,
yes.
It's you could have mostly put that on TV, and it works. Like, it's impressive in a way how much they just directly made an episode of that show. Like, the jokes are jokes you would get. The storyline is I used to watch a lot of TV Land, so like I'm in for it. Like I'm happy to just keep watching the weird fake sitcom, but then I know there's gonna be Marvelier stuff going on that I'm also in for. So I'm a big fan, actually.
I'm excited for it to continue, and I'm so glad Scott and I didn't start watching until there were at least 2 episodes, because if I'd only seen the first one, I would have refused to watch anymore. I'd have just been like, this is...
They launched it with 2. You could never have...
Oh, thank God.
Seen one anyway. So yeah, they knew. They probably should have launched it with 3, because allegedly this episode that comes out tonight is where it becomes a little more explicitly like about what it's about, maybe.
Okay.
You might see a person who isn't in the suburbs anymore, kind of. You might see outside the show, in a way. But like, stuff's supposed to happen.
Well, now I'm excited for this podcast to end. So that's going to wrap it up for today, everybody, so I can go downstairs and watch this episode.
No, it's not out until it comes out at 2 a.m., I think. So you got no reason to leave.
Shit. All right,
won't
fine.
be awake for shit.
I stayed up I finally subscribed to Disney Plus last Thursday because this was coming out, and I was like, this is the time.
Yeah.
I watched 1 episode of The Simpsons, and then the show came out, and I watched that.
I saw that The Simpsons was on Disney Plus, and I have never watched any of it. Not a single episode in my entire life. And I've been informed that means that I have just like royally fucked up and missed out on the bulk of pop culture. And when people try to describe it to me, they're like, no, you won't like it, but you have to watch it anyway. Why would I watch The Simpsons now?
Were you out of the room? Last time I was outside of this town, well, I was in Chicago. When we came to your place last year, I remember the next morning or whatever, we actually watched some episodes of The Simpsons in your home, I believe.
I think I remember you doing that. I did not engage. In fact, I may have still been mostly asleep for the bulk of that.
That might be right, yeah. I don't know why people have told you wouldn't like it, because it's the best. That's crazy.
Kelsey has this way of taking a lot of things that are actually pretty fucking funny and calling them dumb humor. And Simpsons has a lot of quote-unquote dumb humor in it. Lot of quote-unquote dumb humor in it. So, yes, Kelsey would not find it anywhere near as entertaining as the rest of the population does.
It's also brilliant humor. It is anything that even seems dumb is written by like 6 dudes who went to Harvard, because it's
a lot of
you gotta be
fart
smart to be dumb
stuff.
like that.
There's a lot of toilet humor. There's a lot of high school shenanigans humor, like pantsing and stuff like that. Where there's a lot of child abuse humor. Like I said, all stuff that I do not see Kelsey going, "Oh, this is great."
Homer is an abusive father. Yeah.
I mean, there's probably maybe an episode's break in between times where he's not either hitting or strangling his child at some point. So,
yeah, Bart's a little shit. So it's okay.
Bart's a little shit. So it's,
it's not okay. Hey, don't beat your kids or whatever. But
it's great.
It is.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I mean, it is. For most of Scott's friends, it is, I believe, very formative to our entire personalities. The Simpsons, like, if you enjoy people such as our friend Mark, you'll love The Simpsons because he, was born into that thing.
See, I really like you guys, and I do think you're funny, and maybe I would understand more of your jokes if I watched this. I might be willing under those circumstances.
Yeah, it's I mean, the first debatably, the number of seasons that are good depends on who you ask, but for sure the first 10 years of that show are amazing.
And then I heard it took a real hard dip, and you just have to push through it for 13 years, and then it comes back strong. And I'm like, what is so good that you push through it for 13 years?
No, I don't know who told you it ever comes back strong, because that's not true to anything I've ever heard. It comes back. It has a good movie that came out after the show was kind of bad, but you don't have to. There's not a continuity really beyond occasionally one character dies permanently. You don't have to see it all in order. You won't really miss out.
Because the characters don't really age, right? Bart is still
don't age at all.
No.
Yes, they have been in the same grade. They have had, I think, literally 30 Christmases as a 10-year-old. Don't worry about it.
Interesting.
Bart simultaneously had a flip phone, but then also as a 10-year-old now has an iPhone. Right? You can't worry about that.
Yep. I mean, they do episodes where they show what they would look like if they were adults, but they'd never aged.
Right, that's a big thing. They predicted that Trump would be president because in an episode where they flashed forward to the future and Lisa is president, they say she was taking over from a President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And this was filmed, this was made 20 years ago.
That's not the only thing. There's tons of stuff where they've.
I was gonna say, isn't there a ton of predictive stuff? That's one of the other things I've heard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you get real deep into it, some people will tell you The Simpsons predicted 9/11, and also then will tell you how they must have planned it or something.
Oh, God.
It's, I mean, it depends who you ask.
There's healthy discourse, and then there's unhealthy discourse.
Right. But it is, it is very good satire, and then our world became dumber than cartoons. So they got some stuff right.
Oh, that's painful.
Can't release this fucking podcast, dude. Simpsons are going to get canceled now. Cancel culture's coming for the Simpsons, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, no,
I don't think cancel culture would give a shit about the Simpsons. I'm sorry.
The
Let me reverse that.
Have you seen the amount of shit that gets canceled that no one ever gave a fuck about to begin with?
I mean, have you seen modern Simpsons episodes and they haven't canceled it based on just quality of the program? So
I don't know, dude. I guarantee you there's an episode of The Simpsons out there that offends at least somebody.
Oh, there's a ton, I'm sure, because it's very much. It was made at the time. It was made.
So you offend everyone.
Right? Mm-hmm. Well, even just in 1990, the public acceptance of certain jokes about gay people, or trans people, and stuff has developed in the time frame. Because that show has been on for 3 decades.
Has the humor also developed? have they changed with the times, or have they just been nope, we're going to keep this mid-90s forever?
No, I mean, they changed to get bad, yeah. That's, I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, just
they change with the
whatever,
times,
the people
and
who
that's
wrote it.
why it's bad. The humor's not
Yeah,
good
right.
anymore.
It's the thing is, like, at some point they start having way too many celebrity cameos, like, as themselves. Like, when they start having Simon Cowell appear as Simon Cowell, or like Lady Gaga comes to Springfield for some reason, like, that's where things start to fall apart a bit.
Yeah.
And then, like, Bart goes to the Apple store. But it's like a fake Apple store, I guess. But like, it's too modern, it's too weird. But also, it's just the people aren't the same. No one stayed at that job for 30 years. Conan O'Brien went on to go do different things. So a show can't be that good for 30 years because people can't write the same show for 30 years.
Yeah, eventually you run out.
Right. And so the people who write the show now are people who were fans of the show as kids, essentially, and are just kind of doing a imitation of the thing they liked, I guess.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not.
It's closer to a fan show than being what it originally was.
Yeah, it's a cheap imitation of itself. I think. I don't know. I haven't bothered to watch an episode in years, so what do I know?
Well, I haven't bothered to watch an episode in years either, so I'm certainly not going to critique.
Oh yeah, you haven't.
So guys, I did something really stupid on a totally different conversation. And it didn't start stupid, but it's definitely ended stupid. So my husband's favorite thing in the entire world is turtles. That is the favorite thing. And last summer, like, I want to be very clear. His love for turtles eclipses his love for me. There is no question. I know I come second. That is just facts and reality. Now, last summer for my birthday, we bought kayaks and we spent all summer going all over and kayaking everywhere we could. And the one thing always we wanted to see were turtles, of course, because we would find a turtle and then Scott would just stare at the turtle for as long as the turtle would be above water. And then eventually the turtle would be like, okay, this is weird, and it'd fuck off, and then we'd go somewhere else. And that was every kayaking trip. So I was like, you know what, for Valentine's Day, what I should find is one of those scratch-off posters, but of turtles in our area. So then he's going to be like, oh my god, turtles! And he's going to run home, and he's going to, like, scratch off the poster and be like, oh, we found this one! And then he's going to find that there's a turtle that's only, like, 6 hours away, and then we're going to go down there so that way we can kayak so we can find this turtle, right? Problem is, they don't have any scratch-off posters that are that specific. So now all of the ads on my computer are for weird diseases that you can get from being just a little too affectionate with your turtle. And so it's like, do you have salmonella in weird places that you rubbed your turtle? Maybe you should get that checked out at this medical place. So now my computer definitely thinks I have weird scratchy diseases from my turtle, which I don't have. So that's my Valentine's Day so far.
You said one of those scratch-off posters, as if that's a concept people are familiar with. What is that?
Oh, are you not familiar with that?
No.
Oh, there are these wonderful posters. I should send you a link to a bunch of them, but there are these wonderful posters that have. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
The way JoJo delivered that was fucking amazing. It was so good. I mean, it was so good that James even unmuted just to laugh. Like that's how good that shit was. Oh man. Anyways.
Scratch-off posters are posters that have, like, I'll use one. I bought him one for the national parks because we go to those as often as we can. And they have each national park as a little square on the poster with the picture of the national park or something like that, or like a famous spot in that national park on there. And then it's covered by this, like, the same kind of stuff that you find on lottery scratch-offs. Have you ever seen one of those? Yeah. It's covered just by that. And so what you'll do is you go to the national park, you come back, and then you scratch that off, and then that part's all in, like, bright color and stuff like that, and all the ones you haven't been to are still this muted color waiting to be scratched off. And so it's kind of a poster of all the places that you've been and all the places that you want to go, and it's kind of like part dream board, part art and stuff like that. And so
I get it.
Sure, yeah, sure. Fuck, I shouldn't just set a Pokedex. Yes, it's like a Pokedex. And so I was thinking of one of those for local turtles.
I see, yeah. I mean, that has a level of specificity. I mean, I wonder if you could... I have no idea what that material they make scratch-off lottery tickets out of is, though. Like, I was thinking, like, if you could custom make one of those somehow, just...
I would be
don't know what that is.
that at this day and age, there isn't some kind of fucking online shop where you could get that
like customization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be fucking mind blown.
Well, I was looking for one because I couldn't find this thing, and that's when I started noticing the "Hey, do you have
ads.
salmonella from your turtle" ads, and I was like, this is getting weird.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't know that you and Scott had kayaks though. I know that.
Yeah, we
Next
got them on
time.
my birthday last year, and it made the first summer of COVID a lot better because we were able to go and explore all of our waterways nearby,
Hmm.
and it was wonderful. Like we were
Yeah, my
constantly out every single weekend.
my partner, her parents actually have really good friends who live out on the Channel Lakes, whatever,
Mhm.
here in Wisconsin. Yeah, and so yeah, you and Scott will have to fucking come out, and we can all go kayaking because the beginning of the water is like infested with turtles, and it's all see through. So you
Brilliant.
literally can, like, we were got in a kayak and we were starting to go, and literally this turtle like went underneath us, and then you just saw him just get the fuck out. Like he just beelined it. He was just gone. I was like, look at that little guy. He's just going.
That
But
would
it's
be
cool as shit
amazing.
because there's
Scott would
just
love that.
it's literally just lake to lake to lake to lake to lake, and you just do what the fuck you want. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
That would be awesome. We should totally plan that. That'd be fun.
Absolutely, because yeah, they're a huge kayaking family themselves. So yeah, they fucking love doing that. And I was like, well, I've never done it. I was like, I mean, I've always went out on the. It was always like tubing or something or boating. Like my family was big into boating, so we always went boating all the time. But I was like, I've never done the whole kayaking aspect, and so yeah, we got pretty heavy into that. Got like coolers and all the other fun shit that goes along with like your fucking kayak and everything else. So yeah, yep.
There's a lot less like drinking beer and just hanging out on the water that comes with kayaking than there
Oh
is
yeah.
with boating,
Oh yeah.
but it's still a
Absolutely.
good time.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of
You are
fun.
definitely not from where I'm at then.
Hang on, Jay. Never mind. You're underage. I'm not allowed to ask that question. I'll just ask
Yeah,
the
I don't
question in
drink
general.
guilty.
Is that a thing that happens where people just, grab a beer and go out kayaking?
Look, where James lives,
No.
there's nothing else.
They don't grab a beer, they grab a case of beer.
Of course they do.
Fucking kayaks are out there capsizing because there's too much fucking alcohol in the fucking thing.
No, it's more along the drunk people can't steer, so
Yeah,
it
that's
just
right.
flips. And then they're all trying to
Yeah.
scatter to get their beer. And
I
they're
would
leaving
like-
their kayak and phone and everything going down the river.
I would like to
That
hear.
beer's
God damn it! Grandpa flipped over again. Did he have the Miller or the Bud? He had the Bud. Ah, fuck it. Leave him.
Gathered himself.
I'm sure that is a conversation that has happened.
Oh shit!
Do you think that's a crime? Can you drunk drive a kayak? Or is
Yes,
that
actually you
too
can.
small?
You can.
Okay.
I looked it up
There,
one
watch
time.
out.
You got
'Cause I was
that, and
curious.
Just the
Whoever-
fact of just being
Yeah.
intoxicated in public. That's always been a thing. So, public intoxication.
Sure.
So, there's that too.
Fair.
So, yeah. Yep.
There's also a
Fun
lot of
stuff.
that down here.
Yeah, I feel like there are places where the police are just like, I don't care. New Orleans would be one of those places where the cops are like, everybody here is drunk. I am not policing this. This does not matter.
I'm just trying to think of where the fuck you could kayak in New Orleans now.
I don't know. Their water table's pretty high, so don't they have they've got a delta right there, and then they've got one that they man-made as well, so I imagine in through that, but it probably wouldn't be super entertaining. I don't know. If
Yeah.
you're from New Orleans, tell us where in the world you kayak in New Orleans.
Water.
What'd you say?
In the water.
You're a
Yeah,
genius,
that makes
James.
sense.
I did not think about that, yeah.
Oh, God. I'm done with him already. And this podcast just started. Jesus Christ. Super cool thing that I don't think we've had a chance to talk about yet. So, because we were talking about collectibles and shit before we got on here. So, I finally got my Nana key, and I haven't been able to stream yet, so I haven't been able to show it off to people, which is fucking driving me nuts. This thing is fucking amazing, by the way. I love play arts statues. They're so good. They're so customizable. It's ridiculous. So I was looking, and what I try to do is I try to look online on their website, on Square Enix website, because they always put them in badass poses and pick a pose I like the best, then go with that. If not, like combine two poses into one. And they had this one with Nanaki that I really wanted to do. And I was like, man, he just doesn't look right. I don't know if like the eyeball was painted wrong or what, but he just doesn't look right. And then sure enough, I found out you can actually pop the top of his head off, and it actually has an actual dongle in there, so you can actually put his eye the way you want it to be. That's
Wow,
fucking cool.
that's invasive.
As shit. Oh my! I love Play Arts figures. Like everything about them's customizable. That's fucking nuts. I was like, I could literally put his eye the way I want it to.
Did you start popping the heads off of your other Play Arts figures to see if that was true for them too?
No. The only one that I know for a fact that the head comes off of is Cloud from Kingdom Hearts. That's because it came with 2 heads. So that one I know for a fact comes off.
Chris over there in wonder popping the heads off his Barbies.
I'd be so pissed. I'd break every single one of them. I'd be so mad. Oh my god, that'd be so much money. Oh my god. That would end my collection. I'd be like, yep, no, we're done.
I'm done.
We're done here. It was a good run, but we're done. Yeah, couldn't do that. But since we're on the topic of collectibles, I got an awesome Christmas present from one Concordell that I have been waiting to show Kelsey. So I never once looked into buying one of these, mainly because, you know, I just never looked at it. But now that I have it, I have it. The best part is the fact that, like, my mom and shit was up here whenever I got to open this up. So, thank you, Mike. But this is my lovely Christmas present that Mom got me. I love it. It's great. So now I have a mouse pad on a mouse pad. It's pretty great. Because my original mouse pad literally spans my entire desk. It's one of those gigantic fucking rugs, and I just lay it out. And it's Final Fantasy VII, obviously. But
I know you predicted that I was going to facepalm when you showed me that. I was not thinking about that when you showed me that.
I knew it was coming, and I was still like, oh.
I was like, oh my god, because he didn't tell me what it was, so everybody's just gathered around. I was like, oh look, Boxer Mike showed up, and I go to pull it out, and I was like, oh, okay. It's so great. Oh, now I got Bay here. It's all right.
Yeah, you're just molesting Bay all day long. Isn't that lovely?
That's funny.
Ew.
That's funny. But, yeah.
You just declare it's funny. It's funny. Laugh. It's great.
Man. So, there's this game I'm looking into. I don't know if either one of you played. I know Kelsey hasn't played it because she doesn't do anything multiplayer-wise. But, well, Overwatch. That's fair.
I was going to say, I've started picking up a couple of things.
You have started to dip your toe in the water of multiplayer. So that's fair. That's fair. But I'm pretty sure you haven't played this game because it's a horror game as well. Anyways, so, well, then that case, JoJo actually hasn't played it either. But anyways.
Yeah, probably not. Well,
Hunt Showdown.
Oh, no, that seemed cool. I haven't played it, but
I really want to try it out, but I don't know if I want to pay almost $40 to try it out right now. But I feel it's one of those games that the longer I wait, the less people are playing it, and then that takes away from the experience of the game.
Which means the longer you wait, then you don't have to spend any money on it. And then you don't have to spend any money on it. Hey!
Anyways, so for those
Did you call me a dork or an orc?
That works.
I don't think that's how that works.
Oh. Got it. I thought you called me an orc, and I'm like, are orcs known for being fiscally responsible? I didn't get that part of the lore from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, quite the opposite.
But for those of you that don't know what it is a horror first-person shooter. And what's cool about it is that you get to contract these bounty hunters, which are your characters, and then you obtain items throughout the game that they're playing. And there are 3 randomly generated clues in a map that lead you to a big monster that's your bounty. And you need to kill that monster, get the loot, and get the hell out. There's tons of other monsters like zombies and shit all throughout the map to just fucking get in your way. On top of that, you are not the only team of bounty hunters in that game. There are other players who are also bounty hunters who are hunting down the same thing you are. And you can kill each other to knock each other out of the game. You can also let them kill the bounty and then kill them and take the bounty yourself and then leave. All kinds of shit.
Ooh, this sounds fun.
There's a lot going on and I really want to try it out. I'm really thinking about it. We'll see. I don't know.
If you try it out, let me know what you think. 'Cause it sounds amazing.
It's on paper, it sounds like a game I would love. It literally sounds like a game I would love. But it also came out in 2018. So realistically, how many people are still playing it to add in that other aspect?
It came out that would be 2 years ago even, because was early access 2018, I think.
Okay,
then,
that's fair. It probably came out
but
2019.
still, it's been a while.
It's been a while. 1, 2. You have another game that's exactly like it without the horror aspect, Escape from Tarkov, or whatever the hell it is, and people are fucking hardcore in love with that game. So that stole a shit ton of its fucking player base. So it's like
there's some place on Steam you can see player numbers. That information is public if you want to see if people are actually playing it.
That's true.
That's how you get to know when games fail miserably. Is you get to go look at only 40 people are playing that Avengers game. That's oh no.
That's because it looked like shit.
Yeah, it did. It looked terrible. The characters look ugly as hell. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, definitely something that I'm kind of somewhat looking into. I'm not like making any kind of hardcore jumps. It's just something that popped up, and I was like, I can see that. You definitely see me playing that.
Yeah, no, it seems like a cool thing.
Yeah, it seems neat. It also seems like something I'd be willing to play, I think. But where's the horror aspect in it?
Well, just the fact that the zombies and shit are all over the fucking map. There's monsters waiting to jump out at you whenever you fucking go into places and stuff like that when you're hunting down your clues. Like, that's more the horror aspect. It's more of a thriller, I guess. I mean, it's considered a horror, but it would definitely be more of a thriller. So it's like you walk into a barn, you don't see anything, and then within a second, there's like fucking 10 or 20 zombies just like swarming you or some shit like that, you know? Things like that. And then you also have to constantly watching your ass because other players could be fucking following you and trailing you, or, you know, they're coming up to just straight fucking kill you. Yeah, it just depends on how they play. So
yeah, that seems like that'd be a really fun game. Not only to like play, but also to watch somebody else play. So watching you do that on stream would be really neat.
I think we still need to get around to getting our fucking dead funny game in of GTFO. That would be super
fun. Also, I know you guys aren't playing it anymore, but I have 7 Days to Die, and I freaking love it. So if you ever want to play that again, let me know.
Wow. Wait for Kelsey to come in like at the... Me and James have literally played that game to fucking death at this fucking
All right, well...
I have like 160 hours on it.
Yeah.
On PC, doesn't include console.
That doesn't include console when we played it on console for fucking like ever. But we have been trying to find a way to make a Dead Buddies episode out of it for sure. But I do want to get around to the point where, like, at least for sure the 4 of us start playing games that isn't necessarily related to console or not console content. So that would be nice just for us to like just sit back, relax, and play a game. So
if you guys aren't burned out on it, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, 7 Days to Die or fucking like I said, I would love to play more GTFO. That's what I want to fucking play. I was so excited when you guys were like, I want to play it because like fucking the team I had, it's like nobody can ever fucking get on, and I love that game. I want to play the fuck out of that game all the time. I never have anybody. Game's so good. So good.
It's a great game. I haven't beat a single map on it, but I freaking love it. Because every time I'm in there, somebody just like fucks up and trips the entire room, and then it's like, okay, and we're dead.
And we're dead. Yep.
But it's been amazing, so I really enjoy it.
That's the rough part about playing with Wes, and I know Wes watches these podcasts, so Wes, if you're watching, go fuck yourself. But that's the rough part about playing with Wes, because he's the guy that walks in the room and immediately acts as if you're the guy that's going to trigger it, and then he'll do something dumb and trigger some shit, but find any way he can to blame it on somebody else. It's like, bro, I told you not to move forward. I'm like, bitch, you were the only person moving. What are you talking about? We all stood still, and you're all like, oh, I'm fucking Wes. I'm fucking here. I'm going to kill the guy. Yeah, fuck you, Wes. I love you, dude. Fuck you.
Yeah, own up to your shit. If you're the one who tripped the room, be the one that tripped the room. It's okay. You can play the game again. Question for you.
No.
Chris, have you heard... Yeah, fuck off. Have you heard that they announced that Venom 2 was going to be R-rated?
Yeah, because it's supposed to have Carnage, and it's also supposed to technically have Spider-Man in it, too. From what I hear.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how I feel about Tom Holland Spider-Man in a rated R universe. I don't know if he has...
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Are you okay with finding out when you're also seeing one of your favorite villains? Probably nerfed a little bit because he probably can't be all of what he is, even at an R rating.
I don't know. I mean, they fucking destroyed Ultron, so at this point...
you were pissed about that.
I mean, I've seen the bottom of the barrel at this point, so I guess there's nowhere else to go but up. So
I feel like we're gonna soundbite that one, and we're gonna hold on to that for after you see Carnage, and then we're just gonna bring it back, and you'll be like, I didn't know what could be.
That's probably still one of my favorite arguments that we had on this fucking channel so far. Was whenever me and you were arguing about the fucking rated R and the single mother with like 4 boys coming by the movie. We were just going back and forth. That fucking conversation was so funny. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I love it because you literally take like a deep breath and you go, "Oh my god, we're so far away from Venom at this point," and then you go right back into it. It was great. It was a good conversation. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to get to that point where I know I know I'm that comic guy, and so I try to do like it was actually funny the other day. I was sitting down and me and her were watching Deadpool, and I was pointing out all the differences because we actually haven't watched any of these Marvel movies together. And I was pointing out all the differences in like the actual origin of Deadpool in the comics versus the origin of Deadpool in the movie, and it's the little things like how he actually got his name Deadpool and shit like that. And I was like, in my opinion, the reason why Deadpool was still such a good movie to me is because, one, you have Ryan Reynolds, who was an actual Deadpool fan before he became Deadpool. Mm-hmm. 2, you had Rob Liefeld on set to be like, cool, this isn't how it was done in the comics. Let's find a way for this to make sense to the comic book fans and be done differently so it makes sense for a movie. Like, when you have that, it was done very well. So that's why I didn't have issues with the Deadpool movie. It was done very well because there's a lot of shit that was done different than it was actually in the comics, to where it was like the Avengers, a lot of that shit was done like the comics, and then they would make their fucking detours. But there was no one there who was an actual fan or anything. It was more of like Disney's like, give me another fucking movie. We need another blockbuster. And then we had Age of Ultron, and it was terrible. So,
Yeah, they separated too far from the source material to stay true to what they were trying to do.
They never should have named it Age of Ultron. That was what fucking got me hyped in the first place. I was like, fuck, dude. Age of Ultron is like the second time he came back in the comics. Like, he fucked shit up. Like, I'll never forget the numbers is what blew my mind and made this guy my favorite villain. It was 748 mutants and heroes lived in New York City. Within the first hour of Ultron touching down, only 14 were left alive.
Shit.
14. People like Hulk, dead. Thor, dead. Like, that's crazy shit. And then to go through all this shit, it was like by the time you got to comic 4, because I think there was only like 8 comics of Age of Ultron. It was either 8 or 6. By the time you got to the 4th comic, they did this like recon mission to get in, and you just see Vision, like where the throne of Ultron was supposed to be, you just see Vision cut in half. And he's just hooked up to all these machines, and he's like fucking crying and shit. And like he goes to start talking, and then Ultron starts talking through him, and you find out Ultron's doing all this, and he's also 500 years in the future. He's not even there. He's literally not even fucking there. I was like, bro, come on. Like, those games like Fallout and shit, that's literally what the comics looked like for that fucking comic book series. Like, it was all post-apocalyptic. Buildings are completely abandoned. There's no just normal civilians running around. Everybody's in hiding. Like, it was fucking nuts. Nuts. And then I got the piece of shit that made
How does that end? Like,
actually, I didn't get
does
to
it
finish
end
that
with
one.
Ultron winning?
Yeah, I didn't get to finish that one. I hope so. I didn't get to finish it. I literally will not look up the synopsis until I actually get a chance to buy the last 2 comics. So,
why haven't you had the chance?
Fucking life got in the way. That was like when shit, got real and things happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just having life got in the way. So, because that's one of my favorite comic book covers this day, and I'll try to grab it out for the next podcast. But it's issue number 1, and it's actually like, 3D pumped out. And it's all holographic, and what's cool is it's Ultron, and he's standing on on just bodies. Like, everybody's dead, and he's got Captain America in one hand by the face, and Iron Man by the other. But if you look in the shininess of his forehead, you see the reflection of Hawkeye standing back with his fucking bow and arrow drawn all the way across. And I'm like,
ooh, that's cool.
Because that was what really sold the comic for me, was the end of the first one, because Hawkeye, basically, the entire first comic was kind of boring at first, because it was like Hawkeye just trying to save Spider-Man. But whenever he brings him back to the camp, and everybody's hiding in like this fucked up helicarrier that just crashed in the middle of New York. They're all like hiding inside the engines of it and shit. And so like Iron Man scanning them to make sure they're not, like an Ultron clone or anything like that. Like, we told you if you left Barton, you couldn't come back. And he's like, I'm not going to leave one of our family members out there to fucking die. You guys should have been out there with me. and like everybody's fucking pissed off and yelling at each other. And then Iron Man's like, I don't know what else you want from me. And he's like, I want a fucking plan, Tony. I want what course of action are we going to take to move forward? And he goes, you know who makes the plans. And he's all like, yeah, and is he doing that right now? Is that what you call that? And it shows them looking through this window, and you look through the window, and Captain America's shield's just broken in pieces on the floor, and he's literally fucking bawling, crying with his head in his hands. And Hawkeye's like, I don't think he's making a fucking plan, Tony. I think he's lost it. And I was like, God damn. I was like, when Captain America is shook to his core, you know this is going to be a great fucking comic series. I was like, woo! So, yeah. And
you get so excited about powerful villains.
I do. I like good villains. And once again, the guy, James Spader, did a great job with like the actual personality of Ultron. It was fucking amazing. Just they didn't deliver. The one person we killed, no one gave a fuck about. Really, like get the fuck out of here. It was like we put this same mutant in two different comic book or two different comic book movie series. One was extremely liked better than the other one. Let's kill off the one that no one gave a shit about. Like, come on, dude. Oh, I was so mad about that. I was like, really? He's the only one that died? And then there was like rumors that they were going to bring him back. And I'm like, come on. At least give Ultron one death. Fuck. One. Please. Fuck. It's my favorite Marvel villain. I was like, God damn it. So, yeah, that movie let me down. I was not happy with it at all. No.
What were you going to say, JoJo? Sounded like you had a thought.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. That movie didn't take place across a long enough time span, I feel like, to call it an age of anything. Like, that, yeah, it just...
Right?
They had one comic book series with Ultron in the title, so they chose that as... Yeah, I mean, it's, if you think of it as them doing, like, original Ultron from the first time he was created, like, then...
That would have been better. That would have been
not
so much better.
From Age of Ultron time span, like, as a less dangerous version of himself. I don't think it's that bad, but like as a lame marketing choice to give it this name of this other thing and then not make it like that thing at all.
Yeah. And like I said, they would have just piloted the movie after his first appearance. I would have been happy with it because they could have ended it that way too. A lot of people think that, oh yeah, fucking Ultron just got fucking destroyed. That's not what happened. Ultron left. He literally chose to leave. He's like, I'm done playing with you guys for now. I'm going to go advance myself, and then I'll come back. And Iron Man, that was the last panel, was Iron Man looking back at the Avengers going, if he ever returns, we won't win. We cannot beat him. Mm-hmm. And that's how the comic ended. Literally them knowing that if he ever returned, that was it. They were done. That was the end of civilization. You took all the smartest minds in Marvel to create one machine and then taught it to teach itself. You're fucked. That's it. That is Elon Musk DEFCON level 20,000 right there. Like that is the thing he is terrified the most of. Right fucking there.
Oh, yeah.
I love listening to him talk about AI, dude. He is so fucking scared of AI. Oh my God. I don't blame him, dude. Fuck. Those things. I mean, I'm not one of those conspiracy theorists. I think that we still need to move forward with technology. But man, dude, whenever you hear stuff about like, oh yeah, we had these two computers and then they started talking to each other, and it's like, bro, why did you let that happen? Nope, I would have cut that conversation off. Nope.
Why did you leave them alone together? What's wrong with you?
Why did you do that? Oh my God, it's crazy.
Don't give them arms, and we'll be fine. What can they do? What's the worst they can do without arms?
I mean, cut off all power. There's 1,001 answers to this, but yeah.
Yeah.
Take over the internet, fucking fire off nukes, all kinds of shit, dude. They can do whatever the fuck they want at that point.
I guess.
I don't know.
JoJo's like, I was trying to be funny, and then you gave me actual answers, and it's not funny anymore.
I genuinely didn't think about, oh yeah, I guess they're on the network. They could probably do some shit.
Yeah.
But I am excited to hear that we're getting Deadpool 3, and that it's going to be rated R, even though Disney's got it. So, and Ryan Reynolds gets to monitor the entire script, so he gets to choose how the movie goes, which is super fucking smart.
Oh, if it's even slightly bad. Oh, sorry, shutting up. Go ahead.
Oh, that's right. Just, did you like that Venom movie?
Okay, Venom had its issues. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But in its defense, that Venom versus the actual first appearance we got in Venom and the most piece of shit that Marvel's ever fucking pumped out, Spider-Man 3, I will fucking take 10 out of 10 goddamn times.
Yeah, I guess we actually talked about this.
10 out of 10.
I'm remembering now that we talked about.
Yes, 10 out of 10, JoJo. 10 out of fucking 10, I'll take it. Every fucking time. Every time. It's the worst day of my life is when I saw that piece of shit on the fucking big screen. I was like, what is this nonsense? He at least talked like Venom, acted like Venom, fucking looked like Venom. Like hello, that's a big one. Like, come on. Fuck that movie. Oh, it was terrible. Okay, I digress.
I can go along with a lot of like continuity changes. It just bothered me on like a fundamental conceptual level. I'm trying to make a Venom movie that can't reference Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're bringing him now, though. But they're bringing him now,
right?
So
the important thing is the origin, right? Like you can't just bring Spider-Man in and then because why would Venom be mad at Spider-Man if the symbiote was never on Peter Parker? If Peter Parker and Eddie Brock were never co-workers, why does Eddie Brock have a beef with Peter Parker? You can't invent that after the fact. Like if Spider-Man comes into that movie, he and Venom will be working together to deal with Carnage.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah. I actually see this Venom a lot more like the current... Okay, so for those of you who don't read comics... Right.
Career.
Yeah, exactly. Those of you who don't read comics, Venom had two different transitions. There was Venom the villain, Venom the anti-hero, and then now we have Mercenary Venom, who is on Flash Thompson. He's like a fucking guy with the army, and he actually like looks like combat suit Venom. Like there's the three Venoms. This is definitely second Venom. This is definitely anti-hero
and
Venom.
There was Scorpion Venom.
Yeah.
Remember they made Mac Gargan Venom for a while.
I mean, they also did the whole What If series where it was like, what if everybody became Venom? And so now you got Venomized Pops all over the fucking place. Venomized Groot and Rocket and Deadpool and fucking everybody. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I will be... So I actually like the anti-Venom series a lot. Or anti-hero Venom. Anti-hero Venom series. Jesus Christ. I like that series a lot. Because, especially with Carnage. So, like, that's another one of my favorite comics was the first time we actually saw them go against Carnage. Because Peter Parker, even though he has a healing factor, it's nowhere near as good as a lot of other heroes. And he had a lot of fucking broken ribs in one of these comics. So he was at home while Venom was out trying to deal with Carnage. And I'll never forget the end of that comic was like Spider-Man hearing a knock on the door. And he gets up and he opens the door and it's just Peter Parker. So now this is Carnage showing, not only do I know who you are, I know where you live. And he opens the door, and you just see Eddie Brock, and half of Venom is tore the fuck off of him. And he just falls down flat on the floor, and there's a note on his back that says, next time you want to take me out, send somebody better than this. I was like, wow, okay, shit just got real.
Yeah.
That's the same series where they actually say that was the worst thing Carnage has ever done, where he breaks into a house, and there's a mother that starts screaming because her infant is in a crib right next to Carnage, and he literally grabs the baby and throws it right out the fucking window, and then just keeps running. Literally not prompted whatsoever, just grabs the infant and throws it right out the window. And today, people still say that's the worst thing that Carnage has ever done.
Yeah, probably. That checks out.
Yeah, that seems pretty awful.
Yeah. Now, what I would love to see is the current Carnage that's in the comics now in a movie. Because we won't get that. We'll never get that. There's not enough rated R's to rate for that fucking... No, there's just not. Because in the current comics where we have him now, Mercenary Venom and the newest version of... oh my god, what's his fucking name? It's Spider-Man, but it's the one that has the fucking bones that come out of his fucking hand. What's that guy's name? Scarlet Spider.
Wolverine.
The newest Scarlet Spider. Wolverine. Spider-Rine! Huh?
When did they give Scarlet Spider Wolverine?
It's the newest
claws?
one
What?
where he has like literally these fucking little bones that come. It's just one bone that comes out of each one. Yeah. It's the newest Scarlet Spider. Which the old school Scarlet Spider outfit is probably still one of my favorite Spider-Man outfits to this day. Where it's like the plain red suit with the blue hoodie. Yeah.
I played most of that PlayStation Spider-Man game dressed
Exactly.
Spider.
So in this comic book series, they go through fucking hell and back, and they finally capture Carnage, and Mercenary Venom's like, I'm gonna call in the Avengers and get him taken in, and Scarlet Spider literally has that come to terms with, what's the fucking point? He's just gonna break out again. We lock him up, he breaks out, he kills people. This is literally the guy who goes on a fucking murder spree every time he breaks out. We can't just keep letting him get out. And he goes, that's not our call to make. So he literally pops out one of those fucking bones and straight up lobotomizes Cletus Cassidy to kill Carnage. And so they end up locking him up, and I think it's Agent Venom and Captain America. I don't know, someone else was there with him. But they're talking to the doctor who's looking over him. They're like, his vital signs and everything, he's fine. He's not going to die. But there is an issue. And Venom's like, what? And they go, well, yeah, Carnage is probably one of the worst people like in the world as far as a villain goes. But we still always have that thought of, at least there's someone there to keep some kind of like humanity in him. And that was Cletus Cassidy. And now that's completely gone. Cletus Cassidy is nothing more than just a body host for Carnage. That's all he is now. And I was like, bro, like, holy shit. So yeah, there's been some crazy comic book series coming out with Carnage after that. There's been some crazy fucking ones where there's just no holding back. Carnage is 100% just the symbiote at this point. Cletus Cassidy does not exist. He is just this mindless fucking puppet that Carnage gets to use to live. It's fucking nuts, dude. Oh, I would love to see that Carnage in a movie, but we'll never get it. We'll never get it.
I wouldn't, to be totally honest.
But yeah, so I'll be excited to see what they can do, but I do agree where you're coming from, but that you're dealing with the same thing that I was just talking about, which is being such a fan of the comics, it's hard to see just such a right turn out of nowhere and them glue this shit together. And realistically, it's not going to be people who are so... Stan Lee's not here to direct this and put us on the right path. You know what I mean? Like, he's not here to do that.
I mean, it was purely they wanted to make a Venom movie and they couldn't put Spider-Man. Like, it was just, it's such a... That movie exists because Sony has financial decisions, like, or whatever. Yeah, like, that's why we're getting a Morbius movie. Like, it's just... Sony has characters they have access to.
That is
technically Marvel.
For anybody who wants to own their business and they're worried about like how that shit works out. That is the best example of sometimes the money in your face isn't possibly the best decision. Marvel was going bankrupt. That was their only way out, was to start selling off their character shares for movies only to certain companies. And fuck, man, have they never recovered from that. Like, they recovered financially, sure, but they never recovered from all the different characters. I mean, fuck, man. You got X-Men went to Fox, which they got that back now. But everything else is Disney, Spider-Man, Sony. Fucking Swamp Thing belongs to some random fucking studio out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I remember looking it up, and I still can't remember the name of the fucking studio that owns Swamp Man Thing, or whatever the fuck his name is. And then...
Man Thing.
Man Thing, there you go. Yeah. Man Thing, there you go. Yeah, someone owns him. Marvel does not own his movie rights at all.
Marvel, at this point, has everything back except the Spider-Man characters, I think.
Spider-Man... And yeah, they got Hulk back. They got Hulk back. So...
Well, so that's the thing. They maybe still can't technically make a Hulk movie.
They can't make a Hulk movie.
Because someone owns the distribution rights if you name a movie The Hulk.
They
Hulk
own the distribution rights, and the main part where it's fucked is the Universal parks. Because they have that Hulk roller coaster and stuff, they still have a lot of the actual rights to the name The Hulk, which is why they can't use it. But that's about to lapse, and when it does, Disney already said, like, they're doing, like, a whole fucking Avengers world for fucking people to go to. That would be dope. Go to, like, Stark Tower.
The Hulk is my favorite.
Yeah, that's right. Kelsey.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Man Thing. And I used to hear that Namor was tied up in something, too. Maybe the Universal thing also, somehow, but...
Why? Who cares about Namor? Like, get the fuck out. That is one of the most useless fucking characters.
There's some heavy rumoring that he's going to be in the Black Panther movie.
Oh God, dude, I hope not.
It is a Atlantis Wakanda go to war.
Oh well, yeah. If it's got Atlantis in it, for sure, we're gonna see Namor. Yeah. Oh my fucking God, dude.
I like how he has tiny little wings on his feet. I think that's delightful.
It's fucking stupid.
Really dumb. I mean,
I'm glad you like it.
It's very silly. It's very much it was drawn in the 60s and they didn't worry about being cool. It's just a dorky thing.
I'll put it this way, and I don't mean to be negative, but Chris is nowhere near as excited for this next phase of Marvel as he was for the first phase of Marvel. Nowhere near excited.
Well, I mean, you can't compete at some point. Like, they chose all the best characters.
Yeah. The casting was on point, dude. On point. There's not a single character that I've looked at where I'm like, you know what? So-and-so could have done it better. There's not a single one. Every character, you name it, I love who played it. Even Ultron, and I fucking hated Ultron.
Oh, totally.
But you know what? Dude did a great job.
You hated their depiction of Ultron. You didn't hate the character.
I don't know. After watching that movie, I might hate the character
now. You are an all or nothing human being.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
But, I mean, yeah, they're working down the list now. So, like, I'm still interested to see a Shang-Chi movie, but I've got no real investment in the character Shang-Chi. Go see it.
Oh my God, dude. The only thing I care about anymore for them is the What If series. The What If series better fucking bring it. That's all I want. As long as the What If series is good, I'll be happy. But if the What If series sucks, I'm going to be so upset. Because that's like easily one of the fucking gigantic, like the biggest fucking comic book series out there is the What If series. Everybody loves the What If series. Every time a new one comes out, people fucking go crazy for that shit.
Well, it seems awesome. It's an amazing concept. I'm glad that they do it. Because I'm excited about it, and I'm definitely not as much in this world as you guys are, but it's awesome.
I just wonder if they're going to make their own, or if they're actually going to try to do some of the comics. That's where I'm kind of like, I don't know.
I'd hope they do a little of both. Yeah, because I'd hope they tell some of the best stories from what already exists, but, I mean, ideally something new for the people that have read all of them.
I would love for episodes.
Yeah, and they're mostly still just going to work off the specific characters and stuff they've done already in the movies. You know, so like anything that involves someone who's not in the movies, they're not going to be able to do, and they're going to focus on. I feel like they're doing something with Carter or whatever, the Captain America's girlfriend.
Oh,
she's definitely in one of the episodes. It's like, what if Peggy Carter was Captain America instead? I don't know if that's in the comics. It's just like that's a character they have in the movies, so they're going to use her.
See, and that's one of the things that I love about Deadpool so much is like there's so much about him that ended up tying into actual Marvel shit. It's crazy. So Blind Owl in the movie loved her, but the one thing that sucks about them going the way that they did with Blind Owl is that she could never be what she turned out to be in the comics. In the comics, Blind Owl is actually Captain America's girlfriend that he left behind in time.
Oh, really?
Literally did not find this out until way later in Deadpool comics, but like he has this whole ordeal where he's like down on his fucking luck and shit, and he is like not able to do, because a lot of people don't know, like Deadpool is considered an anti-hero. He's actually done a lot of the most heroic shit, but doesn't get the credit for it. Like one of his biggest series, and the specific series I'm talking about, is like this Messiah is coming to Earth and it's going to bring everlasting peace, and everybody fucking wants it. But there's this alien that's coming to Earth to kill the Messiah. So they get a whole bunch of heroes to group up to go kill this alien, and Deadpool's one of them. And he actually gets to fight along his favorite hero, Captain America, to take this alien down. Well, he does, and then all of a sudden this transmission gets implanted in his head where he's talking with the alien elders, and they're like, bro, this Messiah is not good. It will bring everlasting peace, but that's because everybody will be brainwashed. No one gets to choose what they do anymore. They're all going to be mind controlled. And they're all like, the armor this alien was wearing will protect you from that. You don't have to kill the Messiah. Just put it on and monitor it for yourself and make your own decision. So he puts on this armor. Sure enough, Messiah gets there. Everybody gets mind controlled. Deadpool has to fucking kill this Messiah. And everybody snaps out of it to see Deadpool killing the person who was going to come bring everlasting peace. So now everybody fucking hates Deadpool and so on and so forth. So he's actually done like a lot of heroic shit, but everybody fucking hates him. So in that comic, he's getting his ass kicked by this alien, and he ends up teleporting out, and he leaves Captain America there to like fend for himself pretty much, because like Deadpool he couldn't take it anymore. And so he's talking to Al, and he's like crying and shit. And she's like, well, there was this one man in my life who really, taught me what being a hero was. And he was not someone you would ever think would become a hero. And she's talking about older Steve. And so she hands him this golden pocket watch. And it's got like this fucking it's one of his medals. And it has like a note that he like literally fucking, scribbled into it, confessing his love for her and stuff like that. And it blows Deadpool's fucking mind. He's like, holy shit. And like, you don't really get it at first because it just says, I think it just says A. It doesn't actually say like Al. And then like Deadpool ends up dropping the medal in the sand. And whenever Captain America comes to, he sees, he's like, oh, this is my medal. He's like, how did this get here? And it's like, no fucking way, dude.
That's awesome.
No fucking way. And so the biggest one that they just released, and we're getting close to wrapping up here anyway, but the biggest one they did release just recently was the fact that Deadpool is the reason why Venom is actually crazy. That the black Spider-Man suit actually was put on Deadpool first, and he only had it on for an hour. But Deadpool doesn't have any natural abilities. So Venom had nothing to take from Deadpool besides the split personality, which is why he talks in twos and stuff like that, because Deadpool's always talking with himself constantly. And so whenever Venom got onto Spider-Man, he then had powers to pull from. So he's got Deadpool's mentality, and the way that the symbiote works is that every time it makes another kid, that kid is amplified by everything it has. That's why Carnage can beat the fuck out of Venom 10 out of 10 times, because Carnage is actually stronger than Venom. That's why Carnage didn't, whenever he got pregnant and was giving birth to Hybrid, he wanted to kill his baby because he knew that Hybrid would, no matter what, always be stronger than him. And he wanted to be the strongest symbiote. So that was very fucking interesting to me. And then they ended up doing a whole series where Deadpool had to hunt down Carnage, and he was able to do it because they're both on that same fucking crazy aspect. He was able to predict where Carnage was going to go and shit like that. And I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. So yeah, that's actually canon now. That Deadpool had on the black Spider-Man suit an hour before Spider-Man. It was literally just an hour, but it was enough that it fucked with Venom's mind enough. You know?
JoJo's face is like, I don't like this. I don't agree with this.
It makes sense to me.
Time retcon, I guess. I don't know. Okay, Deadpool... feel like was created as a character after Venom was.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So like
100%.
he wasn't there at the place where Spider-Man got the suit.
Nope.
How'd that happen?
They rewrote it. He was there for the Secret Wars. They rewrote it. He was there, dude.
Okay.
That's when it came out. It's still crazy to me to believe that. It's still crazy to me to believe that the black Spider-Man suit was a fan idea that Marvel bought for $50. $50 fucking dollars. Imagine how much that person's kicking themselves in the ass right now. That black Spider-Man suit is gone to make a character that made a shit ton of others. You got Scream, Toxin, Hybrid, fucking Carnage. It's like, what, 12 symbiotes now? It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, man, dude, $50 is what he got paid for that fucking idea. $50. Goddamn.
It's amazing.
Like I said earlier, be smart about what you fucking do with your shit, because you never know what's going to fucking happen. And we're going to leave it on that note right there and go ahead and wrap up this fucking podcast. Don't argue with me, Kelsey. God damn it.
I wasn't going to say a damn thing.
Anyways, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, turn on the notifications. That way you get notified next time we upload another video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and views. Are you excited for the next phase of Marvel? Did you like WandaVision? If I get enough of hashtag Chris should watch it, I might watch it. But as it stands right now, I am not fucking watching it. And let us know if you had to choose. So first off, do your own homework and see what the What If series is about. And if you had to choose a What If that you would like to see, let us know in the comment section below. I would love to read those and talk theories and shit like that, because that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also, we got Twitters and Twitches down there in the description, so you can go check those out. I think right now, currently, JoJo is the only person that's streaming. James is on some fucking stupid hiatus for some stupid reason, because you finally got paid and you're still not streaming, so I don't know what your problem is.
I've been on hiatus. I hope to
JoJo's on hiatus.
Myself, maybe. But
there you go. There you go. And then fucking maybe one day I'll have internet. I don't know. Verdict's still out on that one. So
don't hold your breath.
But yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath for sure. I literally have all last weekend. I was stress testing. I have like 20 streams, and they're all like 3 minutes apiece, because then my internet would just shit out. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. The dude's telling me these different things to do to stress test it. I'm doing that. So hopefully the fix that's coming tomorrow will be the fucking fix. But anyways, enough about that. I'll talk more about that on my stream if I actually get to stream. We'll see. But yeah, like, subscribe. Biggest way to support us, merch. I don't say that enough, and I forget. Merch.
Oh,
I
me
have
too.
now actually added the merch link at the top of the channel. So whenever you go to the YouTube channel, you see the little Twitter logo and the Twitch logo. There's a little Teespring logo there now. You click that, takes you directly to the merch store. Boom. Sexy. Easy. Nice. Go click it. Go check it out. It's winter. You need a fucking hoodie. Go buy a Dead Funny hoodie and put it on. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. Anyways, check that shit out. But have a great rest of your week.